oldest athletic events in history? Do you know that history? Today, we're going to find out. Each question will get harder than the last. Can you get a perfect score? Let's find out with question number 1. Welcome back, everybody, to the Can You Answer series, where I ask you, can you answer these Olympic Games questions? Now they're going to be doing Summer and Winter Olympics combined into one. And we're going to start with the first question. In the easy category, what city hosted the first modern Olympic Games in 1896? 1896, which is also the year I was born. Wow. I look good for my age. Or maybe I look my age. Which city hosted the first modern Olympic Games? Olympic Games. If you're watching this when the video comes out, we are currently in the Winter Olympics at the moment. But maybe you'll watch this in 4 years, or in 20 years, or maybe in 200 years. But which was the first city to host the first, what city hosted the first modern Olympic Games in 1896? The answer is Athens, which is from Greece. Greece was the first country. Athens was the first city to host the Olympic Games. And as always, we're going to have hints throughout the quiz. If you answer after the after the hint, you'll get half the points, so 0.5 points. Otherwise, you get a full point each question. So if you got that question right, you get a full point. And for each question, I'm going to have a little bit of extra facts in there. So the facts for this question was that there was 241 athletes in this 1896 Olympic Games. And only 14 countries were involved, which compared to now, a lot less. All the competitors were men, and there were 43 events across 9 different sports, including athletics, cycling, and fencing. I didn't know fencing would have been back in 1896. They had bicycles back in 1896. Alright, question number 2. How often are the Olympic Games held? So, I'm gonna accept only one answer here. And the hint I'm gonna give you is do not consider, or please consider, how would this work? There are Winter and Summer Olympics. How often does the Summer Olympics happen? Also, you could say, how often are the Winter Olympics? Do not consider from summer to winter. Consider from summer to summer, or winter to winter. How many years in between? How often are they held? If that makes sense. If you're confused, once I say the answer, you're going to understand why I had to clarify that. Answers are locked. The Olympics are held every 4 years. However, between summer and winter, there's 2 years. Between summer and summer is 4. Winter and winter is 4. Between winter and summer, or summer to winter, it's 2. So you know what? If you said 2, I will allow it. If you didn't understand my hint. If you said 4, then you get the point anyway. So, this actually happened in the greatest year of all time, 1994, when the Winter Games moved away from the same year as the Summer Games. They used to have both in the same year, which I kind of like. Just do it 1 year. Why you gotta wait? Why do you gotta separate? Alright, question number 3. These are pretty hard in my opinion. These next couple of questions. At least this question. What do the 5 Olympic rings represent? And the answer is not colors. They actually stand for something else. What do the 5 Olympic rings represent? Also, for bonus points, I'll give you a bonus point if you tell me the colors of the rings. But they have to be all accurate in order to get the full bonus point. Let me try to guess in my head. Okay. I can't tell if I got it right because I looked at the answer or actually knew. Alright, answers are locked. The 5 Olympic rings represent the 5 inhabited continents. Africa, the Americas. They counted all of the Americas. So not just South America and North America. All of them are one. Then Asia, Europe, and Oceania. Oceania. The colors are red, green, blue, yellow, and black. If you said all those colors, you get a bonus point. Congratulations. Oh, that's cool. Now, these colors were chosen because every single nation in their flag contains at least one of these colors. That's cool. I didn't know that. So every single flag in the world has one of these colors at least. Either blue, yellow, black, green, or red. Think of your own country and let me know. Does it have one of those colors? My country does. It has red. Question number 4. Which country traditionally enters first during the Olympic opening ceremony? Which country is first to enter the Olympic ceremony? Which is also one of the best parts of the Olympics. The opening ceremony and closing, but the opening for sure. I like the closing because they sort of bridge from this current Olympics to the next Olympics. I remember when I went to Japan, they had like Super Mario on like the graphic and things like that. I was like, hell yeah, that's cool. Alright, which country traditionally enters first during the Olympic ceremony, opening ceremony? Answers are locked in. There are no hints for the easy category, even though I think I already gave it. The answer is Greece. Greece. Is that because they're the best? Maybe. But also I'm assuming it's because the first ever Olympics was held in Athens. So, kind of makes sense. Yeah, it says Greece is honored for hosting the ancient Olympic Games. So they are... Oh, the ancient, not the modern Olympic Games. The ancient Olympic Games. But then they were the first one to host the modern games. So they're being honored that way. And this has happened since the early 20th century, as we all know. In 1896, I believe it was. Question number 5. This is going to be the fastest question of all the questions I've ever done. What medal is awarded for first place in the Olympics? And because it's so easy, I want to give you guys a bonus question. So for an additional 1 point, when did they start using this medal? using this medal. So just choose a random Olympic year, and you have a chance. Alright, answers are locked. The medal that is awarded for first place in Olympic events is gold. Gold. Silver is for second, bronze is for third. And what actually sucks, kind of, is that, I didn't even know that the Olympic medals, at least the gold ones, are not solid gold. That I can understand. But apparently, they're 92.5% silver. So they're mostly silver, but you get it for winning first, and they're called gold. It's plated with 6 grams of gold, but technically they're silver. Now, in current prices, that's a lot of money, regardless. But that's pretty cool. And for the bonus point, this started in 1912, so over 100 years. So it's been a while. I wonder if the original medals were pure gold. That would have been crazy. Question number 6. I don't know why this is an easy category. I've never heard this in my life. What is the current Olympic motto? What is the current Olympic motto? And I will give you the point if you tell me the original motto as well. Or like instead, any of the mottos. I never knew they had a motto. The original motto or the current one. And your hint is they're the same, except the modern one added a word. So it's one word longer. And here's another hint. It's 4 words long. The original was 3 words long. What is the Olympic motto? Answers are locked. What is the current Olympic motto? The original motto, which was introduced in 1894, which was 2 years before the first Olympics, right? Let me double check here. Yeah, interesting. Was faster, higher, stronger. And the modern one was added in 2021 to emphasize unity and solidarity. It's faster, higher, stronger, together. Which is a nice message. I've never heard it. Question number 7. Which country traditionally enters last during the opening ceremony? Which country traditionally enters last during the opening ceremony? Which country is picked last in gym class during the opening ceremony? I will give you a hint. I know I said no hints for the easy category, but I want to give you a hint. The country is not always the same. So it's not like they're like, Canada, you're last. Every year. We all hate you. It changes. They hate someone every year. Every time. It's a different one. Alright, answers are locked. The country that traditionally enters last during the Olympic ceremony is the host nation. Which is why it changes, because every Olympics is usually a different host. So the host nation, whoever's hosting it, is the one who enters last. But Greece is always first. So, example, Japan, 2020, entered last because it was in Tokyo. Beijing, China entered last. For the Vancouver Olympics, Canada entered last. So, alright, you have completed the easy category. Some of them were pretty hard. We're going into the medium category now. Let's go. Question number 8. Which athlete has won the most Olympic medals of all time? name should come to your mind for this one. However, I'd like to think that there have been a couple of athletes that have really dominated and have won a lot of medals. I will give you a bonus point if you can tell me how many medals this person has won. And all I can say is, it's a lot. And I'm almost certain that there are probably numerous countries that have won less medals in their history than this one athlete has won, which is disgusting. Alright, answers are locked. The athlete that's won the most Olympic medals of all time is Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps. He has won 28 medals. 23 gold, 3 silver, and 2 bronze. How? He played in 4 Olympic Games from 2004 to 2016. And it was all in swimming. Imagine if swimming was in the Winter Olympics and he could win twice the amount. That would have been crazy. Alright, question number 9. What country has hosted the Summer Olympics the most times? What country has hosted the Summer Olympics the most times? And if you can give me the number of times they have, you get a bonus point. I'm trying to think of a hint. Okay, the hint will be they have not hosted a Summer Olympics in 30-ish years. 30 plus years. 30 plus. around 30 years. If that helps. Okay, answers are locked. The country that's hosted the Summer Olympics the most times is the United States. I don't know why I didn't think that would be the United States. And they have hosted it 4 times. So if you said 4 points, or 4 times, you get 1 point. It was first in 1904 in St. Louis, 1932, Los Angeles, 1984, Los Angeles, 1996, Atlanta. And they're going to host it again in 2028, in 2 years, in Los Angeles for a 3rd time. America's so big. Go somewhere else. Go to Ohio. Alright, question number 10. In what year were women allowed to compete in the Olympics for the first time? So we know the first ever Olympics had only men, and that was in 1896. So which year did the women compete? The hint I will give you is that it wasn't as long after as I would think. You know, I feel like there would be like, women don't belong in the Olympics, and they would hold that for a long time. They didn't hold that belief for that long. So don't think too far ahead. Okay. Answers are locked. The year that women were allowed to compete in the Olympics for the first time is 1900. So literally the next Olympics, they're like, okay, women can join. But there were only 22 women who participated. The Olympics was in Paris. So the first one was Athens, Greece. Next was Paris, France. And they had tennis, golf, sailing, and croquet. Okay, question number 11. What Winter Olympic sport involves athletes sliding headfirst down an ice track? Now, I won't lie, I confused this sport with another sport. basically the one where you slide feet first. So if you're thinking about that one, it's not that one. It's the other one. Ooh, this is a cool bonus fact I'm going to tell you right now. Races are usually... Oh, well, this is a race, by the way. That doesn't really change the answer, but the races are decided by hundredths of a second. By the time I finish that sentence, 500 hundredths of a second pass by. So only 1/100th of a second, such a short amount of time, makes the difference in these races. Alright, answers are locked. The answer is skeleton. And the one I was thinking of feet first is the luge. I kind of like that one better. You can just lie on your back. This one, if you're head first, it looks very, very scary. And apparently they reach up to 130 kilometers per hour or 80 miles per hour. They're basically being thrown by an MLB pitcher, is what it sounds like. Imagine being thrown by Shohei Ohtani. No, he throws faster than that, but you get the idea. It debuted in 1928 and returned as a permanent sport in 2002. So I don't know if it was like on and off or it just happened once in 1928 and then came back in 2002. I'm not sure. Alright, question number 12. What country won the first ever Winter Olympics gold medal? And I will give you a bonus point if you can tell me the year, the athlete, or the event. So you have 3 chances for a bonus point. You cannot get more than 1 bonus point. Tell me the country for 1 point, and then either the event that they did, the sport, the year, or the athlete. And if you tell, and city. If you tell me the city, I'll give you a point for that too. What country won the first ever Winter Olympic gold medal? Answers are locked. The answer is America. United States. The United States. They won the first ever gold in the Winter Olympics in men's 500 meter speed skating. This occurred in 1924 in Chamonix, Chamonix, France. And the athlete was Charles Joudra. Alright, question number 13. What Olympic event combines cross-country skiing and rifle shooting? I did not know this. That's such a weird combination. Cross-country skiing and rifle shooting. I wonder if the shooting comes after or before. I feel like if you're cross-country skiing, your arms are going to be really tired. And then you have to hold up a rifle and be accurate. I'd be scared to be in the audience or around them when they're shooting. Alright. The hint is that this sport became an official sport in 1960. 1960. Ooh, yeah, all these stats or bonus information does not really tell you the name of the event. It basically says the athletes ski for a distance ranging from 7.5 kilometers to 20 kilometers, and then they have to hold a rifle. And if you miss your rifle shots, you get a penalty. It says penalty loops or time penalties. I'm I'm used to the time penalties. Alright, answers are locked. The Olympic event that combines cross-country skiing and rifle shooting is the biathlon. Biathlon. Triathlon is 3 events, or 3 sports. Biathlon is 2. What's the one where it's like, there's 10? Oh, I forgot what the name is. Someone comment letting me know. It's the one where there's like 10 decathlon. Yeah. Where there's 10 events. The people who win that is crazy. Like, how do you train for 10 different things? And you have to like run, you have to swim. It's crazy. Anyway, biathlon. Alright, last question for the medium category. What is the only country to have competed in every modern Olympic Games? So ever since 1896. Interesting. So I was wondering, because there was, how many? 14 countries in the first ever Olympic Games. So obviously it has to be one of those 14. But why would only one country compete in every single one? Now, apparently, certain years, a lot of countries withdrew, which makes sense, because there were wars or boycotts, especially during World War II. I think 2 of the Olympics were they canceled, or was a lot of countries withdrew, I'm not sure. But only one country has competed in every single modern Olympic Games. And my hint is it's possibly the one you're thinking of. Answers are locked. The only country to have competed in every modern Olympic Games is Greece. I mean, it kind of makes sense. They created it, so they have to be there every single year. Alright, we're going into the hard category now. 5 questions. How are you doing? Hopefully you're almost, or you are perfect so far. Here we go, 5 more questions. Question number 15. Which city has hosted both the summer and winter Olympic Games? Usually, they don't host both because a lot of climates are too hot or too cold to host the other sport or the other kind of Olympics. So which city hosted both the summer and winter Olympic Games? While you think of that, I'm going to get some water. I'm always so impressed when I'm watching these videos back, and I could clearly hear my gulp. It's very interesting. Okay. My hint is that you don't have to go too far back in history to figure out who hosted both. But because that could be a massive hint, you have 3 seconds to answer. 3, 2, 1. Answers are locked. The city that hosted both the Summer and Winter Olympics is, not country, city by the way, Beijing. Summer Olympics 2008, Winter Olympics 2022. Turn to page 394. Okay. Question number 16. In what year? Ooh, you know what? I spoiled this question earlier. So now, this is a free question if you've remembered and were paying attention. Alright class, were you paying attention? Or were you scrolling on your phones and not listening to the lecture? Here we go. In what year were the Summer and Winter Olympics officially separated into different cycles? In what year were the Summer and Winter Olympics separated? And so only one of those Olympics happened that year. There's no hint for this because I literally gave you the answer earlier. That's your hint. And you know what? Answers a lot. The year that Summer and Winter Olympics officially separated into different cycles is the best year of all time. Like I said already, 1994. 1994. Which was the Winter Olympics. It was the only Olympics that year. In 1992 was the last time they were both in the same year. Question number 17. Which Olympic sport was removed after only appearing in one Olympic Games? Which doesn't really make sense because then it says this Olympic sport appeared from this year to that year. So I don't know where this question is coming from. So we might ignore that extra info. Which Olympic sport was removed after appearing in only one Olympic Games? And your hint is that it was removed by the IOC when they modernized the sports program. So that's the International Olympic Committee. The Olympic Committee. I don't know what the I stands for. Which Olympic sport was removed after appearing in only one Olympic Games? Answers a lot. The sport that was only one Olympic Games is, honestly, it'll be fun to bring this back, to be honest. Tug of war. Tug of war. Imagine getting like 5 of the strongest men in your country just pulling a rope while 5 men and women, they'd be both, are pulling on the other side, on the other country. That's just, I love like pure sports like that. Like running is one of my favorites because it's just athleticism. Same with like weightlifting, just like strength. So like something that's so pure, like tug of war. We gotta bring that back. Alright, question 18. Which country won the first ever Olympic gold medal in women's ice hockey? Which country won the first ever gold medal in women's ice hockey? What hint can I give you? Sure. I will give you... Actually, no. I'll give that a... Ooh, you know what? I'll give you chances for 2 bonus points. Oh no, I'll give you 2 chances for 1 bonus point. If you get one of them or 2 of them, you just get 1 point regardless. You just need to answer one of these bonus questions. What year did it happen? And then 2, what was the score? Was it 5-0? 10-0? Answers are locked. Which country won the first ever Olympic gold medal in women's ice hockey? If you said the greatest country of all time, Canada, you are wrong. They were defeated in the final by this team, the United States of America. And as a Canadian, that hurts. We were born in the ice. The year was 1998 in Nagano, Japan. I believe so, right? And they defeated Canada 3-1. So not that bad. 3-1 is respectable. Alright, second last question of the day. What is the maximum number of athletes allowed per country in most individual Olympic events. We're not talking about relays. We're not talking about team sports like ice hockey. For individual sports where an individual competes, how many from each country can they bring to that event? They decided to do this so that one country cannot just dominate everything. Which doesn't really make sense, because as you can tell, there are countries that dominate a lot of times still with this rule. Alright, answers are locked. Actually, no, I'm going to unlock this. This is the first time I'm ever unlocking a question. My additional hint, well, I don't even know if I gave a hint. The number is on your hand. So is it 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Now answers are locked. What is the maximum number of athletes allowed per country in most individual Olympic events? The answer is 3. 3. It is known as the 3 per country rule, which doesn't make sense because they don't want one country to sweep. But there are 3 medals you can get, and if there's 3 participants from each country, they can win all 3. And I'm pretty sure I've seen that before. So, last question. The hardest question. And you have to answer multiple. Which Olympic Games, so there's more than one, were cancelled due to World War II? Which Olympic Games were cancelled due to World War II? I will give you 1 point if you guess the years this happened. I'll give you a bonus point if you can name the countries and or cities that they were held in. If you only get 1, you get 0 points. We're going to be tough on this one. If you get all of them, then you get the point. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. I don't have a hint for you. Oh, you don't have a hint. I have another hint. The number of Olympic Games that were cancelled can be found on your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Which one is it? Alright, answers are locked. The Olympic Games that were cancelled due to World War II is 2 of them. It was Tokyo in 1940 and London in 1944. And what happened was, in 1948, they let London host the Olympics, and they were known as the Austerity Games after the World War. Interesting. Alright, that was 20 questions. How did you do? Are you 1 away from getting a perfect score? If so, and you've seen these videos before, you know there is a bonus question. 1 last chance for a point. Here we go. Which athlete has won Olympic gold medals in both the summer and the winter Olympics? Something that Michael Phelps should have done. Even though you can't swim in ice. But, that would be really, really cool. Your hint is, it's not Michael Phelps. Your other hint is, you have to go back in history to find this. So if your most recent knowledge is Michael Phelps or Simone Biles or Usain Bolt, you gotta go further. here's a hint. Not only was this the one of only 2 athletes to ever medal in both Olympics, but he is the only one to win gold in both Olympics. And another hint is the sports are really different. They're really different. And for an extra bonus point, if you can tell me any, it doesn't even have to be both sports. I'll give you a bonus point per sport you get right. And or 1 point per year of the Olympics that he won. And another hint, it's a he. I just spoiled it. Answers are locked. The athlete that has won Olympic gold medals in both Summer and Winter Olympics is Eddie Egan, E-A-G-A-N, in 1920, won the gold medal in boxing. He was a light heavyweight. And then 12 years later, in 1932, in the Winter Olympics, he won gold in 4-man bobsleigh. So boxing to bobsleigh. One, you fight. The other one, you're pretty much hugging another man. Punching versus hugging. He turned from violence to love. You love to see it. But what I don't love to see is the end of another video. But that's okay. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what your score was down below. Leave suggestions for the next video. And let me know what country you're watching this from. What country you're supporting in the Olympics. And most importantly, take care of yourself. Love one another. And have a great, 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 great sleep, 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 sleep.